Hi, this is Jundo. Welcome to Tree Leaf. It's always nice to be able to express some gratitude to the people who help us along in this life. And I met one of them this weekend. I'm very glad I had the chance to do so. He's 92 years old, sharp as a tack. I first met him about 20 years ago when I came to Japan as a kid of 25. And I didn't know a lot about Zen. I was new to Japan and I was looking for a Zen group, and lo and behold, I find out there's one pretty close by. I didn't realize it was at this place that's pretty much the Vatican of Zen. It's this huge temple. As a matter of fact, it's one of the two head temples of the Soto sect, Sojiji. And every Sunday they had a group for lay people, almost all Japanese. And the group was in the Japanese language, and I didn't speak a lot. And here was this teacher who used to be an English teacher many years ago, and he spoke a little English, and he would always take the time in the middle of lecturing about Dogen to just make sure I knew what was going on, dropping a couple of English words in there, here and there, just so I could follow along. And after a few years, I went to that group every Sunday, almost every Sunday for about 10 years. And soon I was doing some translating for him when foreigners would come, and I would try to translate his lectures. Of course, I'd translate the parts I understood. There were still parts I didn't understand. And at that point, I'd just tell the foreigners that it's too profound for words, you know. But Azuma Roshi, what a kind and dear man, who brought me right down to earth on what this whole Zen thing is about and what a Zen master is. He was just a very kind, smart man who was like your father, your grandfather. And I was still kind of starry-eyed about Japanese Zen master. And he was always just a man. I'll give you just one story to give you an example of that. I used to ask stupid questions like 25-year-old new to Zen guy would ask, like, Azuma Roshi, what is time? Now his English was so-so, you know, so I would ask him, Azuma Roshi, what is time? And I remember he looked at me and he looked at his watch and he said, 5:30. And I remember thinking, oh, a profound teaching. What he's trying to tell me is that time is just this moment. 5:30, right now, here and now, be in the now. And it was later I realized that he just thought I was asking what time it was. And so he said 5:30. It was 5:30. It was that guy. He was that kind of guy. It was that kind of relationship, and it taught me more about Zen than anything in the books. And even when we talk about Shobogenzo here, there's a lot of Azuma Roshi that comes through. So, thank you, Azuma Roshi. When I saw him this weekend, he's, as I said, 92 years old, still great. Sat Zazen, you should see that form and the way he bows, still getting up and down and bowing. And he lives in Kyushu, which is way in the south of Japan. He comes up to this part of Japan twice a year to visit a temple with one of his young proteges, Chofukuji. And all I can say is I hope he can make it next year. And I hope to see him again. You know, there are all these teachers that help us in this life. We don't only have one teacher. I mean, Nishijima Roshi ordained me and gave me Dharma transmission and is my father. But we have all these uncles and aunts. There was Jiho Sargent, who died, at least in this visible world. She left this visible world a few months ago, and I spoke about her. There was Mitch Doshin Cantor, a wonderful priest in Florida, who taught me about doing priest stuff. So much of what Tree Leaf is Mitch. And then there was Azuma Roshi, who took this young kid for 10 years, didn't know anything, and just kept him going in Zen, and week after week. And lovely man. So thank you, Azuma Roshi, and thank you, everyone. And I hope you, if you get a chance, can think of someone, maybe a teacher from long ago, look them up and say thank you. It's really nice. One time I looked up one of my old high school teachers. She didn't remember who I was, but I knocked on her door 25 years after high school was over. And I said, "You may not remember me." She said she did, but I don't think she did. But I said, "I was just, in your class, I was a ninth grader, and you just made a big impression. I want to say thank you very much." Well, she was thrilled. I think it made her day. It made her month just to have a student say that. So if you remember anybody like that, please express some gratitude. Okay? Shall we sit with that?